Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dergboi podcast, where I and other possible guests talk about some interesting topics. I am your host, Rugged the Lovable Huggable Dragon. Today, we are on episode number 17, and I'll be discussing about some of my life updates and, most importantly, my quick trips to Furrydelphia 2022. If you enjoyed my content that you're listening to, give it a good review or share it with others. If you ever want to be part of my podcast, either as a voice guest or you just want your questions to be answered and for me to be reading them out loud, feel free to click on a few of the links I provided within the episode of my podcast. Now, the best way to reach me for questions is on Twitter at RuggedTheDragon, all one word. You can also join my Discord channel if you also want to, since I'm on there very often. I'm also on Twitch quite often as well under the same username of RuggedTheDragon, again, all one word. All of the links on my social media sites as well as my Discord server, they're all linked in the description of my podcasts. So I hope to hear from more from everybody as time rolls on by. So with that all being said, let's get on to the main topic about my life updates and Furrydelphia 2022. So, life updates. So, I know I'm not really uploading these podcasts every week. I was intending to do that, but then I realized, you know what, maybe it should be, every 2 weeks or so? Maybe when I feel like it, kind of like, because there's so many things I have to do. There's work, other life duties like laundry, all that stuff. I say work before, live streams, a bunch of other things to do, right? It takes a little bit of time to formulate topics, figure out what you want to talk about, and then just sit down and do it. Mainly, it's kind of laziness, too, because I sit down, I'm like, I need to do a podcast, but God, I gotta sit there for like over half an hour and talk about stuff. But I need to do this, right? I need to do this so badly, because I figured if I do this more often, it's a way to kind of like release some stress, blow off some steam a little bit, and get everybody get a bit more noticed. Not like, I know it's kind of an endeavor for everybody to get more noticed, but it's something that I try to do. So, life updates. So, I'm in my mid-30s, and I just decided to start, So, life updates. Alright, life updates. So, I'm in my mid-30s. So, that being said, I never drove before. So, about a couple weeks ago, more than that actually, I actually took up driving lessons. 3 days, 2-hour sessions each, and everything went well. I think I mentioned this from another podcast. My driving abilities were really good. My instructors were asking me, "Did you have your license before this?" And I was like, "No, this is the first time I ever drove." So I'm going around, and I took my first test, and I failed that one. The only reason why I did everything perfect, I just decided when I went to get out of my parallel parking spot, I decided not to look at my rearview camera and hit the cones. Yeah, that was the only reason. So, second attempt happened about a week or so ago. Got on there, parallel parked perfectly. Didn't have to adjust myself, nothing. And then he said, "Okay, do your K-turn." Looked at the camera this time, backed up, got out of there, did my K-turn, drove around a little bit, and the guy put a giant P on the paper indicating that I passed. So I was like, yeah! It was great. God, it was such the amount of stress from thinking about what to do on your driver's test. Every day, I was practicing with my, thinking I was in like an imaginary car. I was trying to figure out exactly when I should stop, how far I should turn the wheel, what exactly I need to do. So I decided to just take every step, very slowly, individually. Get to the cone, make sure the cone is appearing on my rear passenger side back window. Stop. Back up till I see the cones after turning my wheel to the right. Stop. Go straight back to a certain point. Stop. But I did it perfectly. Perfectly. That took about 20 minutes to get through my whole driver's test. And the DMV took another 3 hours. Not kidding. 3 freaking hours for the DMV. God, now I know why people hate that so much. So I got my license in the mail, so I decided to get a car. And I did. I had to get insurance for it. Obviously, I bought the car first, then I got insurance for it, and I got proof of insurance, all that. Did all the paperwork. So they're going to deliver it to me on Wednesday. So for those who are car nuts or whatever we call them, gearheads, I got a relatively normal car. It's a Chevrolet Spark. It's a gas-operated vehicle, automatic, and it has 30 miles per gallon on the regular roads and 38 miles per gallon on the highway. So really, really, really good MPG there. And the total mileage, it's a used car, by the way. It's less than 40,000 miles. 2017 model, by the way. Pretty good. Pretty good. I didn't spend too much on the car itself. I roughly spent about 16,000. Not, of course, not in one go. Obviously, I got monthly bills. My car insurance, I got USAA because I'm a military veteran. Probably the cheapest you can get out there if you're a military veteran like myself. And I'm a little nervous again because now I'm going to get this car on Wednesday, and I have to say to myself, man, I'm not going to be taking public transportation anymore. It's a good thing, of course, but I'm also nervous because I don't know where to go to work. I know I got Google Maps. I got plenty of GPS options for myself, but it's just the factor of what specifically is the best route, what things I have to be aware of, especially considering that during my lessons, I always had somebody with me telling me where to go. Now I don't have any passengers, so I'm by myself here. So hopefully the GPS can work very well. I'm pretty sure it will. It's just my concern is that whenever I was doing the lessons, I always had my worries about how fast I was supposed to go on the roads. But I believe GPS devices can actually give you an indication of what the speed limit is on the road you're on. So, of course I gotta look out for the signs, but sometimes they don't see the signs right away, or sometimes they change, the speed limits greatly change. So I guess if you don't know the speed limit, when in Rome, do as everyone else is doing. Well, not entirely. I don't want to follow a sports car going at 100 miles per hour down a normal town road. Obviously not. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure I'll get used to it. Now, highways, I'm not really scared of highways at all, really. I like highways. Highways are really good. I like it because it's a very smooth experience. You go at the same speed. You go a little faster. It's great. Some people don't like traffic in the highways. Some people just don't like highways in general. They have a general fear of them. I don't know why, but I like them. That's just my personal opinion. So yeah, enough about the car. So yeah, my car, like I said, I can't wait. Can't wait to get it. Oh, it'll beat transportation any day. I hate the buses, especially here. Oh God, New Jersey Transit is abysmal. You have people being late, to not even showing up, to going along the wrong routes. Never showing up. I mentioned that twice because it's twice as often they don't show up. And I'm at work. It's especially bad when I'm at work, right? I go to work at 6 o'clock and I get off at 6:30 in the morning. Now, if I was driving, I get off at 6:30 and I get home before 7. With a bus, however, I get off at 6:30 and I don't get home till 8. That's too much time. That's too much time. And that's including going to work, because in order to get to work, I have to leave by 4 to catch the bus and get there at 6. That's too much. So I figured with a car, I can get home before 7 and spend a couple hours, eating breakfast, and then get a full night's rest and come back the next day. Oh, it'll be so worth it. So worth it. So enough about the car. So I know you all want me to talk about Furrydelphia 2022. So it was a nice place. It was a small con, but I liked it quite a bit. Definitely small compared to Anthrocon, but the last time I went to Anthrocon was in 2019, so a lot of things probably changed. So I went there mainly just to meet with old friends I've never met before in person. I've always talked to them for years online, but I never actually got around to visiting them. And it's kind of crazy. It quite often happens, to be honest. I think in the furry fandom, most of all of your interactions are online. It's not often you get to meet the fursuiters unless you go to a lot of conventions, which I don't actually attend a lot of them. But it's pretty interesting. So a couple of the friends I have to mention on this podcast, his name was Spoopy Boy. I met him in Call of Duty a long time ago. We were playing, and we've been friends ever since. He's got a really cute character. He's got a fursuit head and everything. He wears a scarf around his neck. I took a picture with him. So if you ever go on my Twitter, you can see all the pictures I took of that convention. I don't take too many pictures, but it's pretty cool though. Got a pose with him. It was all nice and everything. And I kept booping his little snoot on his head, so that was fun. Another person I met was named Skyless Coywolf. Skyless Coywolf. He used to be known as Drix the Dragon, but he changed his character and all that, so it's great. Great. We talked a lot. We talked way too much. Oh god, it was great. And also met Nova Skunk as well. He was there too. He also follows me on Twitter. And others I met Jib Cody. Jib Cody was there. That was nice. I don't know too many fursuiters in general in terms of their names, but like I know Jib Cody. I've met him before in 2019 and took another picture with him. That was great. I loved it. I was like, I saw him. I'm like, oh, Jib. But I will tell you this. I did meet another suitor. Never met this person before. Now, this person was named Revolutionary Leopard. That's Revolutionary_Leopard. They're on Instagram, right? So I went to this person, and they were like a normal snow leopard, but they also had a Revolutionary War-styled uniform on. It was mostly green with some red trimmings and white pants and boots. And I'm like, wow, that looks so cool. So I walked up to the person saying, hey, I really love your suit. Got their social media, got to take a picture of them too, doing a little quick pose. And this person knew quite a bit. I said, your green uniform, I'm thinking it's British because of the dragoons. He said, no, it's American. And apparently Americans had dragoons too. I'm like, oh, I did not know. Interesting. So it's really, really, really cool person. And like I said, I took a picture. So if you ever go on their Instagram, check out their suit. It's so, so good. And other things at the convention that I mainly went there for, like I said, it was a small convention. I mainly wanted to get a lot of goodies. I wanted to immortalize my experience and visit there. So I wanted to obviously get a t-shirt. I got a mystery box containing the shirt along with a bunch of other things like pins, stickers, you name it. And it's so good to actually have those. Even got a bookmarker, so I'm no longer am I using a simple piece of paper for my graphic novel that I'm reading on the bus. Now I'm just using an actual bookmarker for, thank gosh, right? Oh, and for those who don't know, my graphic novel that I'm reading Wings of Fire, and I'm on book 4 right now, almost done it. It's so good. I love it. I love dragons, so of course I'm gonna read it. So back on topic here. There were other things like a dance competition. I was there for a little bit, and little thing between us guys, if I ever get myself a partial suit, I'm going to enter a dance competition. I'm not a good dancer, but the whole point of it is that I'm going to just go up on the stage and do, technically it's a dance. I'm going to do the chicken dance. How about that? I'm going to do the little, I'm going to set it up all epic. Like everyone's going to get ready for me to do flips. And then it's going to cut to the chicken dance. And everyone's going to be laughing, but joining in. I'm going to like, yeah, it's just fun, right? That's what I want to do. That's what I really want to do. It takes a lot of confidence to go up there and do something so simple like that, but I think I should be able to, unless, of course, the judges say you can't do that. It has to be an actual choreographed dance, professionally done, but who knows? Maybe in due time. So I do want to get a partial now, by the way. I do. I want to get it so bad. I want a partial. I see all these other people in costumes, and I'm like, oh my god. It's just, I just feel out of place going to a furry convention and not being in a suit myself. I feel like I'm just hanging around. I don't feel like I'm fully integrated with the theme of the entire event, right? I want to be in a suit. I considered a long time ago to get a full suit, but then I realized A, it's more expensive, and B, it's a bit hotter in there, considering there's probably like more pillows along my legs, considering my character is digigrade. So I decided to get a partial because, one, I can more comfortably move around. I'm not overheating myself except for my head, obviously. And it's cheaper. Not mainly because of cheapness, because I think it's more practical to get a partial suit. I know some people only get a head too. That's fine as well. But I figured a partial is good because I need a very thick tail, some small or medium wings on my back. Don't need to be extremely large like my character is right now. Like feet things, feet and hands, along with cloth that goes along my arms and my legs, just in case I wear shorts or short sleeve shirts. So it'll be great. I really want one. I need to keep reviewing all of the fursuit makers, try to figure out what their designs are, how much they cost, the time it takes to complete a suit. I'm not in any rush or anything. I believe if I had to reserve myself for a future furry convention, aside from Furrydelphia, I would probably want to go to MFF, Midwest Fur Fest. It's a little far away, but it's during the winter, and I prefer, honestly, to suit in the winter time. I know people can suit in the warm weather or even the hot weather, which I think is ridiculous, but I mean, if you're really into the fandom, you can suit anytime you want to. But me personally, I mean, I will if I have to, but I prefer to suit in cold weather because it just makes more sense. If I'm freezing and I wear a suit, it'll feel so nice and snug in there. But I can't wait. What else is there? Aside the bag of goodies I got in the at the dealer's den, I explored a little bit. There was a game room there. It was just pretty nice. I didn't play any games. I just chatted with a bunch of people. We were talking about video games for a good half an hour with Skyless and I. We lost track of time. I felt so bad because his friend was sitting there waiting for us to get done. And I was like, oh, dude, we gotta go. We gotta go. We're talking too much. We're sharing all these Call of Duty clips and all that. And one guy mentioned specifically that, you sweat too much in Call of Duty. I'm like, yeah, I do. I actually believe he followed me not too long ago. I didn't know he actually found my, I didn't know he actually found my social media. But I'll have to give him a little shout out later on. But I'll have to figure out where he is because I can't remember who follows me because there's so many people that follow me every once in a while. But anyway, so yeah, Furrydelphia 2022, it was a good convention. It's really small, but if you ever just want to meet friends and just have a little quick time over there, meeting other fursuiters and all that, it's great. You know, it's personally great. It's not hectic or anything. It's not overcrowded. You don't have to worry about too many things. It's great. Although it's in Philadelphia, so it's not exactly the greatest city in the world, but it's at least a safe portion of the city that you could be in, so long as you're not out at night in other parts of the area. But other than that, I loved it. I was there for 2 days for a few hours each. It wasn't too far away. I was actually relatively about 20 or 30 minutes away if I drove. If I took a bus, it's a little longer. And as I said before, bus trips are a pain in the butt. So this pretty much concludes the podcast itself. I know this was kind of a shorter episode, but this is how I pretty much do things. If I feel comfortable talking enough about a certain topic and I feel like I need to end it, I do. I don't want to ramble too long. Pretty much wraps up the episode of the Dergboi podcast. So this is RuggedTheDragon. Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you ever have any suggestions on a new topic you wanted me to discuss, you want to be on the guest on the show, I would gladly want everyone to participate. It really helps me out. It also lets me feel better knowing that I'm involving more of you, the listeners, to my podcasts. Also, friends, if you ever want to be a part of the podcast too, just let me know. So I'll see you all next time. Take it easy and be safe. Dergboi out.